Welcome to Learn Sword and Typing with Vikas Sir. Progressive Magzine exercise number 14th October monthly 100 word per minute. So be ready, start. One of our state which in comparison to others in more prosperous is Punjab, where there is hardly any big plant but there are plenty of small industries. Some states which are full of big plants are low down in the scale of per capita income in spite of the development of history because agriculture is not developing. So I beg of you to think a great deal more about developing agriculture and as a part of the program of and reform. That program must be completed. After 60 years of independence, our program of land reform has not been fully implemented for various reasons and because of various pressures. This must be borne in mind. I hope you all realize that this business of planning of development is not a thing for each state to do by itself or for the center alone. It is an activity in which there has to be the fullest cooperation between the center and the states and between the states because real development cannot ultimately take place in one corner of India while the other is neglected. There is sometimes an unfortunate rivalry between states over something or the other. Healthy competition is good, but this rivalry is not a good thing, and you must look upon this whole planning and developmental process as one complete whole for India with the states and the state center cooperation all the time. In the last 12 or 13 years, we have gathered much experience in planning through success and failures. I think that on the whole we can plan well. I think also that on the whole we do not implement well. It is not good to have a theoretical plan and not implement it fully. Planned development is a complicated matter which takes you right down to the lowest rungs of the administrative ladder. To some extent, I have a feeling that these rungs of administrative ladder are not functioning as they ought to. We have some very good administrator, but it is not a good man by himself who can do much. The whole tone of the administration has to be improved right down to the revenue official and other officials. Sometimes there is a conflict between one department and another. Therefore, each state has to tone up its administration and ministers have to give little more time to administrative work. One of the things we have learned from planning these last few years, and this has been stressed in the third plan report, is the need for prospective planning. You cannot plan for a year or even for 5 years. You have to think 20 years ahead and work up to those objectives. What happens is that we plan for 5 years as if we are going to start a new scheme of things at the beginning of every plan. There is no such thing. Planning is a continuous process. If you have got to do something in the fourth plan, you have to begin here and now not of course spending large sums of money, but still laying the foundations for it, so that when the time for the fourth plan comes, it assured of a good start. We lose much time in the initial stages on any project. This is totally unnecessary. Therefore, I think in your agenda there is provision for the preparation of the fourth plan. Those arrangements must proceed now in the middle of the third plan. In the notes supplied to me, I remember to have read a statement that we are now in the middle of the 55 years of planning since independence. 55 years